Hi guys, this is Attorney Mike Edwards talking about another subject in criminal law. This is called expunctions, and I'm going to do it in two parts because there are two kinds of expunctions I want to talk about. And one involves cases that were dismissed or you were found not guilty by the court, which is a good thing. The other kind is going to be kinds where you were found guilty and you have something on your record. Expunction is when we go into your prior criminal record and we take a big eraser and we're going to erase whatever we can off of your record. And we do more expunctions than anybody in this area have since I began practicing law. This is the good news in criminal law because instead of possibly having something go on your record, we're going to get it off. So let's talk about how we do that. The first type of expunction is one in which charge was not guilty either by the case being dismissed by the DA or not guilty if we go to trial and have a judge do a trial and you're found not guilty. That happens a lot too. Problem is, even if it's not guilty or dismissed, when you pull your record up, it still shows that you were charged with that offense. And guess what? Employers look at your entire record now in the computer age that we're under, and they will find the charge. And let's say you have two people, you and one other, that they're looking at an application for a job. If you have an old charge on your record that was dismissed and the other person doesn't, give you two guesses. No, I'll give you one guess on who gets that job. So that's why it's so important. So let's talk about that. An example of what I'm talking about, let's say Saturday night, boyfriend, girlfriend situation and argument. Doesn't have to be a Saturday night. It can happen on Tuesday night. But an argument happens, somebody says something they shouldn't say, probably both people did. And one person gets upset, goes to the magistrate, takes out a warrant. Now hopefully that's not an assault warrant. Don't want that, but it could be. But maybe it's a communicating threats. Let's make it that. And tempers calm down. By the time it goes to court a couple weeks later, eventually maybe continuance or two, and maybe one party, they get back together maybe. One party wants to drop the charge and goes to the DA, and maybe the DA drops the charge. Or maybe we try the case out and the judge does not find that you did the charge. Either way, it's going to show up charge, communicate threats, for instance, dismissed by DA, or not guilty. Well, that looks good, but it's also bad because it's still on your record that you were charged. And nobody wants a hothead working for them, and they think, well, you charged communicating threats and you got out of it somehow, and probably a hothead probably did it. Maybe you got a slick lawyer like Mike Edwards to get you out of it. Something like that. So we want that to go away so the employer never sees that. Here's how we do it. I file a petition based on the information in the case with the district court. You don't have to go to court. We get the information from you in the office. It's a very painless process for you because you just give us the information. We run the ball for you. We take it to the court, get the judge to sign a petition which goes to the SBI, State Bureau of Investigation in Raleigh. They investigate to make sure you qualify. Don't worry about that because I'm not going to file it if you don't qualify. So there's no risk involved. If I see that you don't qualify, I'm going to tell you don't qualify. But if I file the paperwork, that means we're going to be able to get the expunction done. Goes to Raleigh, they check out, do some things. It takes 90 days to do that. Why does it take 3 months to do that? Believe it or not, there's only one person in Raleigh that processes these things for the whole state. And so I have had some come back 2 months, but it's mainly 90 days. But it's worth it to do it and to wait. So after 90 days, we get a report back from SBI stating that all clear. I then go to the judge and get the judge to sign an order of expunction. Again, I do this without you going. Meet with the judge, draw an order, then I go to the clerk and I say, Madam Clerk, let's flush this record. And what happens is, it's just like taking it and throwing it in the toilet. and then we flush it. They destroy the file. They destroy all evidence of the charge, and then we go to the sheriff's department, and they do a global, so that it disappears off the criminal network forever and ever, which is a great thing for you and for your prospects in the future. So we do this all the time. You probably have encountered, if you have an old charge, you've probably encountered this problem in the past, and maybe you didn't know why you were not hired for the job, but I'm telling you, they do that. Employers, they look on there and they see that, and they're not going to hire you. Now, after we get this done, this is what is so neat about it, is that if somebody ever asks you, hey, have you ever been charged with that crime, a crime? And if you don't have any other thing on your record except this charge was dismissed, you can answer, no, I haven't. Now, that's not a lie, because legally an expunction erases the fact that it ever happened. It goes poof, gone, didn't happen. It goes back in space and in time and changes history. That's a beautiful thing. Give us a call if we can help you with that. A. Michael Edwards, attorney at law. My website is attorneyedwards.com. I'm in beautiful downtown Marion, right behind the library, across from the Mcdowell news office. We're there all the time. April, my office manager, can do an intake, and then I'll call you and we'll get everything set up. How much does it cost? Well, if we're doing a case in district court that was dismissed, anywhere between $300 to $500, depending on how many charges. Sometimes you have several charges that need to be taken off. So we try to do them all in one petition if we can. Sometimes we have to do two. So we just charge based on the paperwork and time we have involved. If it goes to Superior Court, it's a little bit more involved. So it may be just a little more, but not much more, depending upon what we have to do. Generally, you don't have to pay a filing fee. Sometimes you do. I'll talk to you about that. If you do, this is 2020, so it's $165 now, or $175 in some cases. So it's not a big deal financially, but it's a big deal for you. So we can help you. Hey, Michael Edwards. I'm Mike Edwards. It's the same person. Happy to help you with your expunction needs. Just give us a call, 828-652-8011. Thank you.